I can tell you from not being married, celibacy doesn't help any of that. It's because they say that women are a distraction. I think that to the reverse of that, history has also shown that celibacy is not great if you look at the priesthood.
Uh-oh. Hi, I'm Sombra del Piso. If you guys don't know who I am the nutcase of New York that talks about not nutting, really, succinctly put. Strangers to the channel, we talk about celibacy, we talk about men's mental health, of course, that is fortified and cultivated through celibacy. And I figured we had to do something a little challenging, right? All right, what's going on? What we're gonna do is, I realize that perhaps we live in some sort of castle of the sky with our beliefs, right? We just sort of have like this idea of, yeah, we're gonna be celibate, yeah, we gotta ascend, yeah, we gotta be like Buddha, yeah, we're gonna be like the ascended masters, and then we're just yelling these sort of beliefs from like some sort of castle in the sky, right? Isolate of any of the opinions of the people that, you know, like work in families, right? Individuals that like, you know, that choose to travel at their time off and they go and get their food from supermarkets. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna ask a couple people what they think about men being celibate and what they think about the concept of celibacy to begin with, right? And just see, we're just gonna get a couple points of view. We're gonna just see where people's brains are at, and just, maybe we could together come to some sort of conclusion as to maybe is this practice rooted in some sort of pragmatism, or is it just some sort of wild, nonsensical, fantastical practice that we have implemented in order to escape some sort of idea of the physical objective reality? Like, comment, subscribe, guys. We're gonna get into it now, right? Let's see who we could ask, and let's begin. Really, I'm gonna try to do this, man. Hi, how are you? Are you busy?
Sorry?
Are you busy at the moment?
Well, the kids stopped, so I've got a second. What's up?
All right, I just want to ask you a crazy question. Just for my YouTube channel, I talk about men's health, celibacy for men, leading to men's health. What do you think? Imagine your husband says to you, listen, I want to undertake this sort of vow of celibacy, right? I heard from some yelling crazy person on YouTube that it produces all of these physical benefits, mental benefits. Would you be all for it, or what do you think? It's obviously that's going to interrupt your bedroom life. How do you feel?
So I'm not married.
You're not? Oh, okay.
And I can tell you from not being married, celibacy doesn't help any of that. So,
It doesn't. Why? Why do you think so? What do you think?
I don't see any additional benefits.
Okay, there's been a lot of examples in history, right? We have like Nikola Tesla, right? This Serbian guy, in charge of electric systems and whatnot. He was a lifelong celibate. We also have Isaac Newton, who at 26 created calculus, and then in addition to being this crazy scientist that spoke a lot about the natural laws that occur in our universe, right? He was a huge religious, devout person.
Yes.
He was also celibate. Leonardo da Vinci, he wasn't a painter by choice. That was just a thing that he did for fun, and happened to create the Mona Lisa, right? Which is like immortalized.
A million other things.
Oh, exactly. Salvator Mundi, theories about like the elements, as a whole bunch of things. He was also celibate. So, do you think that there's a benefit, from the outside looking in as a female looking onto us men? Do you think that there's a benefit physically to us men that practice celibacy? And do you think, based on those examples in history of like these super successful guys that sort of shunned, the conjugal, thing, between men and women, do you think that more men should be celibate in order to perhaps make the world a better place with their latent abilities? Right? What do you think? It's crazy, right?
I think that to the reverse of that, history has also shown that celibacy is not great if you look at the priesthood.
Uh-oh. Okay, right. But those were like guys that got like a little twisted. The Catholic Church, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a little twisted.
I mean, there's, hundreds or thousands of them. So I'm not sure that, the hundreds of examples that you could cite
will counteract.
Necessarily negates that. And then like if you look at like other religions, for example, Judaism, their rabbis are married and they have families. So they do, however, pray separately.
Okay.
there is a wall between them when they pray.
Right.
It's because they say that women are a distraction.
So, okay, so you were saying, right, we have the swaths of examples of, celibacy gone wrong.
Celibacy gone wrong.
Right.
And I'm sure there's plenty of other examples as well, but just to
generally
do something off the cuff.
And then the rabbi example, right?
Well, right.
They were saying that women
they allow them to get married, but then when they pray, they put a wall between them.
Because women are a distraction to your concentration about
exactly.
El.
Yes.
Can imagine. Okay. Do you think that maybe objectively there are benefits to celibacy? As if, I talk about myself. I've been celibate for a year, right?
Yeah.
I haven't been, looking at adult film content or, sleeping with anyone for an entire year. And I feel all these benefits. I'm chatting to you,
Yeah.
and just being a bit more social, cutting through anxiety, thinking a bit more broadly, having more physical energy. And I don't know if there's a lot of anecdotes online as well with people like young men like myself. I'm a little older. I'm 33. But
I'm way older than that.
couldn't tell. But there's a lot of examples of younger guys, right, that have practiced this same thing,
Yeah.
and they've gotten so much success. The same in terms of financial success, they're better at budgeting. They're
I think it's just a matter of multitasking and focusing. Right? There's
Right.
only so much every human being, and I think we're learning more of that, nowadays than we did when I was growing up. There's only so much bandwidth a person has.
right.
And so if in your 20s you're building a career and have the pressure of finding a relationship and settling down to create a family and a white picket fence and a mortgage and that's a lot. So does something need to go? Yes, something needs to go. Does it have to be celibacy?
But what if celibacy gives you that energy, right, in order to multitask? Like for me, I always have to bring it to me because, it's me. I have a full-time job now,
Yeah.
right, which is kind of nuts. I work in an office. I had a whole plethora of different jobs before. I used to be a server. I used to be a tailor. I used to work in a yoga studio. I used to work at supermarkets. I did a whole bunch of stuff. But since I've been doing this, right, I've been, celibate.
Yeah.
I have all this energy to not only do this full-time job, but also run a channel on my own, edit and whatnot, and, shoot content and do all this whilst, maintaining my life, going to doctor's appointments.
I understand.
Yeah,
You've become more focused and you are able to
and I think that
concentrate
I
on
would
this.
not have that access to that source of energy if I was not doing this. And I think that a lot of, guys would feel the same way.
I think, again, I'm not disputing that has been your experience, but I think also, for example, COVID showed us that there are people who are able to thrive doing school. I have 2 children.
Okay.
One, during remote learning, was thriving. Grades through the roof. She felt socially awesome. Everything was amazing. The other one was banging her head against the wall, dying to get out of the house, just having video school wasn't working for her.
Okay, I like what you're about to say. What's good for the goose ain't good for the gander.
The same thing is my sister-in-law, for example, continues to work remotely 2 days a week, and she is super disciplined. She goes into her room, she closes the door. Kids, babysitters, sick children, husband, none of it matters. If she has a meeting or she has a deadline or whatever, she's super hyper-focused on this
impressive.
is what I have to do, and none of that
distracts her or even enters her mind.
She doesn't even treat it as though she's at home.
She's in an office.
Room, she's at work. I cannot do that. If I am working from home and the kids stop to say, boo.
You're like, oh, why would you do that? Weren't you supposed to do this? And then you just sort of lose focus on the plot. Right. Okay, so essentially what's good for one person ain't good for another. And there's no such thing as some sort of blanket cure.
That's why I'm saying I do agree with you that in your, let's say, the post-college years or early 20s or whatever it is, it's a lot to expect people to form a career, develop a personality, find a relationship, get on the path of having a family and a mortgage. You know, I think all of those things at the same time is too much. So something has to go. If
Right.
for you celibacy was it, then good for you.
Which
You
helps.
found
Kinda
your
nuts.
thing.
Yeah.
You know,
But it won't necessarily work for everyone
I
else.
don't think it will.
And it's not the best idea to sort of,
I mean, like you said, or you know, for all the examples that you cited, I'm sure somebody else can cite the opposite.
darn, okay, interesting. Thank you for your point of view. It's great.
Bye. Nice meeting you.
Nice to
Good
meet you
luck
as well.
with your channel.
Thank you. I'll see you around. Right. So we've learned a lot today. We learned a lot. We learned, even though, right, us folk on semen retention are in some very beautifully designed castle, of course, crafted with our own sweat and tears and hands, right? Calloused hands. And we want everyone to partake in this glory of this citadel. It won't necessarily be the case. The successes that we've earned won't necessarily be the case for everyone else. What we learned is what is good for the goose, it's not necessarily good for the gander. I think, however, that there is definitely an objective, biological, beneficial truth to semen retention and celibacy, and we should continue this, right? So, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think. You know, tell me what you think. Am I not looking at something a certain way, or maybe there is the objective truth, which I'm probably inadvertently denying, is that people are just generally different, and just celibacy is not just some sort of injection that you can take into your life, albeit 3 months, 6 months, and your life just takes an upswing into fame and fortune. And maybe generally we're just different guys, right? Maybe we're just different blokes, right? Some people just have better aptitude for stress than another person. Maybe some people are better at organization than another. I don't know. I refuse to believe that. I want us all to succeed. Why else? Why would there be people that are unsuccessful, born into the world, that are meant to be unsuccessful forever, and there are people that are unsuccessful just for a period, and then they implement something that's powerful, and then they become successful? I want us all to win. I'm for the people. I've always been for you guys. I've always been for the people. So, guys, stay radiant. Guys, stay radiant. Don't let this place get you down. Don't let the what people say about what you people are predisposed to do. You got to try some stuff. You got to get better. We have to try to improve. We have to try to bolster our efforts. Semen retention, semen retention, semen retention. And perhaps if I am a nutcase and it doesn't work for you, then I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't par you off as a lost cause, right? Okay, anyway, guys, stay radiant. I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Woo!